let's try that again. Hopefully you can hear me now. Thank you. So we'll try it again. So again, this is Dino at DigiSpit Crypto, and today we're going to do some fun stuff. We're going to be talking about, obviously, the current market. We're going to look at the ASICs and what they're mining, and I've had many requests to do information on the patent. And so I did a little digging around and found out what that is all about. We'll put on a little background music, and we'll be in good shape. We'll rock and roll here. Now, of course, we've got our friend, don't forget Mr. Bean. Hello. And Mr. Bean's going to stop in every once in a while, say hello, see what's going on, check in with us. So let's take a look first at the basics. If you have any questions or comments, put it in the chat, and I'll get those, and I'll put them up on the screen over here, over there, and then I'll do my best to answer those questions as we go along. And I'm thankful for everybody that's tuned in. We're just, like I said, just trying to get the live session started. So let's take a look here, what we got. Let's bring it up. All right. So a lot of you folks that have been involved with everything that's going on today, I'm sure have been keeping an eye on their Bitcoin prices, and have noticed the nice jump today and spike in traffic. And there's a whole bunch of good news that's out there that's obviously causing a lot of this. And it's funny how over the weekend everybody that was saying it's going to go 4,000 or 5,000 is now talking about a mini bull run. So let's see where it takes us. And it's important because we all know that price of Bitcoin is going to control what's going on. And the good news is that, of course, Electroneum's up because of it too. Now, of course, Electroneum has a lot of good news, but obviously with Bitcoin being up 5%, takes everybody up with it, at least most coins. So that's a good thing to have happen. Being up 4% today. So, you know, keep your hats on and keep going with it. Let's take a look here at our trading gainers and losers. See if there's anything else exciting on here. Look at this here, Tau coin, 272%. I don't know how that type of stuff happens. Pretty much all these other stuff are a lot of strange coins. Pascal coin has been around a while, and obviously a good thing. Now, Dragon Chain, 30%. I hope you've had some Dragon Chain. If you do, that's some pretty good numbers to be taken in, and well, obviously important. Let's take just a quick look here, make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Very good. Hey, John Thompson, Dijon, I see you out there. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys tuned in. I want to do a shout out to you guys, and I appreciate you. Let's take a look here. Everything else seems to be pretty much the basics. Now, Sumo Coin. Now, remember, Sumo Coin is another Monero-based coin. It took a beating today, 50% down, and you know, it could be just folks just getting rid of a lot of their coins because you got a lot of ASICs running that, and that's what happens when there's no purchasers to be available. Everything else here, I don't see anything important enough to really talk about. So let's move on real quick. Now, crypto unit. Just going to go to that. If you're running an ASIC or curious or want to know about an ASIC or thinking about an ASIC, you definitely want to take a look at this. You know, we're running about $10 a day if you're pulling the 220 kilohash, which is what the machine is rated for. Though it does come in around 234, and with a small tweak for the performance on it, you can overclock it a little bit. So I'm bringing in around 245 kilohash at the moment. I'm going to give it a test on that, and I'll keep testing it and see where it goes. 900 coins a day, that's not too bad. It's a good start, and definitely something we want to see happen. All right. Now, a lot of folks were talking to me, hey, Dino, what about ETN creating their own ASIC and selling that or renting it or doing something like that? Wanted to bring you this news here. Rick Viper's back. How you doing, Rick? Good to see you again. Glad you checked in. That's always good stuff. Coinbase. I'm going to get to that, Dijon. What I'll do is I'm going to put you up on the screen so that I don't forget to answer that there. Nope, that's the wrong one. Let's try that again. Let's go with this one. All right. So I'll answer that question for you in a second, Dijon. Now, Kodak was planning to create obviously they're a blockchain, and they were going to lease the ASIC miners to people, put their sticker on the side of it, and lease it to you for X amount of dollars, with the intent of you'll be able to make so much money over a 2-year period. And they put that completely on hold because there's no guarantees. If you take a look here, it was $3,400 to rent it. You weren't even buying it. You were renting it for the 2-year period of time and expecting a $375. And the problem is that they couldn't guarantee this $375. Nobody can guarantee you anything. And they were worried about legal repercussions from that. So, you know, this is a good example that, you know, you don't want to be in the hardware leasing business or renting. You leave that to the, you know, you outsource it. So if Electroneum wants to have more mining, you know, cloud mining, that it needs to be a third-party company that specializes in it. And this is a perfect example of why. Now, Coinbase, this was new. Coinbase is getting approved to handle securities, and this is quite big. You'll probably hear this on all the other channels tomorrow. And what's going on here is that they're trying to get approved to be able to list security coins on Coinbase. So this is big. So first, what's going to happen is that it'll bypass all of the problems that they're concerned about by carrying Ripple. All right, so if they get this approval straightened out, which they did, you see right up on here, gets regulator approval, you're going to see Ripple now all of a sudden show up, because now they're not going to have to worry about whether it's a security or not. So expect a pump on this. Expect all the people, all the other players tomorrow to start talking about it, and hopefully they'll connect the dots with Ripple. The second thing is that what's going to happen is the stock market at one point is going to disappear, because there'll be no reason to buy stocks. Companies will be able to file as a security and create a coin. They'll be able to either put their company in Raven Coin or clone Raven Coin and make it their own, so that it has, you know, mail integration and then all of the components necessary to handle a security. And they're going to issue different types of coins. You'll have actual stock coins that will be for the company, and then they'll probably have, if they were smart, they would have secondary coins which you can mine or do something like that so they can keep the chain running, or they'll just run it internally and make it a centralized environment. But all stocks are going to end up as cryptocurrency. You will not be buying stocks. Mark my word today, that you've heard it here on DigitSpin Crypto. It's definitely going to be that way. And there's just no other way to go around it. And that's the reason why companies like NASDAQ and all the others are starting to get involved. Let me check the questions here real quick, and then we'll go back to this. John Thompson, welcome to you. How you doing, John? Good to see you here. Okay, so the first question is, what's this Coinbase rumor? Any chance it's legit? So maybe you can give me some more information, Dijon, what the Coinbase rumor is. Are you talking about what I just wrote here, or is there something different and specific you were talking about? So maybe you can give me a little bit more information. Just type it in the chat. In the meantime, let's take a look at what else we got here. Oh, so even John Thompson's asking what the rumor is. I'm assuming that he's talking about this, and so we'll go on that assumption until I hear otherwise. Oh, so Dijon's talking about he heard ETN on Coinbase. So that would be a new one on me. If that happened, you know that we'd all be pretty much going to town and being excited about it. So I haven't heard anything regarding ETN on Coinbase. ETN is definitely not a security, so it's not an issue that you see here. And it's not something that would be specific to this particular issue. Whether or not Coinbase would pick up ETN, I think my personal opinion on that matter is that I think ETN is the type of coin that would bring a lot of value to Coinbase. They have a lot of users. There's going to be a lot of interactions and velocity of the money. They're going to be able to have a gateway to bring it in. I think it would be in their best interest. Is it even on their radar? I have no idea. As far as I'm concerned, they're going to probably be looking at coins that have giant market caps, because in their eyes, they'll be able to process more funds that way. Even though the coin values are different in quantities, it's just sheer numbers, folks, and what it comes down to. So it's unlikely that it'll beat out the other coins. Now, there are 5 coins that are being put on Coinbase, and they announced that, and I had that on my stream yesterday. You know, things like Cardano and an XO and a few others, they're definitely going to be added. There were 5 coins. Electroneum was not one of them. So I hope I answered your question there. All right, so we got the big fella, and we got what else we got there? All right, so good day from Australia. All right. All right, now Michael has a question. Let's put that up. Michael's asking, do you think Electroneum can get added to Coinbase in the future? So again, that goes back to what we were just talking about. And I don't see Electroneum getting on Coinbase before all of the other primary coins. There would just be a riot if they didn't get those primary coins on there first. It would be an amazing, event to have Electroneum on there. Do I think that it's possible? I absolutely think it's possible. So we'll see where that turns out as we go along. Now, we got a big fella sent a question. He said, "Good day from Australia." He goes, "Hey mate, I have a theory that Electroneum should get rid of the mobile miner and instead replace it with a micro exchange with Electroneum incentives in buy orders. It would add value." There's a lot to running an exchange, and this is the problem why I think Electroneum right now doesn't say, "Hey, put your credit card in and we'll put Electroneum on your site." That makes it an immediate security if they gave them the coins that were pre-mined. That crosses a line and kind of makes it a security, and so that's not a go. So it has to go through an exchange. Now, when you're dealing, you're exchanging people's money, you got to be able to clear the money. So you're dealing with banks, and so a bank can turn you off or on because they get pressure from another country or from another bank. You have obviously hacking and all that other good stuff. You get KYC issues. That's not the business Electroneum's involved in. It would be a big mistake to try to go do what an exchange does when they should be working on Electroneum. All right, that's what they do good. That's what they do best. That's what we want them to do. Keep going on with that. We don't need them to do any of those stuff. To do that would be what, Mr. Bean? Yeah, it'd be crazy. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about it. So also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you click the notification bell somewhere around here, I think it's right about there, you'll be able to get alerted when we go live. We're going to try to do these more often each and every day, and just kind of chat about all different types of topics as we go along. So that would be kind of fun. So I hope I answered your question there, big fella. And I worked on the audio. I went through each of the sound effects. So the explosion, you can let me know, hold your ears. I'm going to do the explosion. It should be a lot lighter, so it doesn't blow your ears out with the pods in your ear. I hope that worked out. But I went through all the sound effects. I appreciated your feedback to let me know of that. You know, I'm still trying to get the studio all calibrated, and sometimes some of the effects get past me and I didn't notice the volume rate on it. So I apologize to everybody that was too loud on the last one, or the first one that I did, the very first live show. So, all right, so let's take a look here now don't forget, I'm going to get into this patent. I got to save some time to tell you what I found about the Electroneum patent. Good, bad, or indifferent, or the same. But hold on and I'll tell you about that. Let's take a look here. All right. So, yeah, cool. All right. So big fella's telling me that the audio was more at the right level. So I appreciate that, and appreciate you getting back to me. All right. So Michael here is asking me, I like your little icon there, Michael, that Electroneum icon. I can tell you're obviously a big Electroneum fan, and that's pretty awesome. So he's asking, how's your X3 working out? Did I fix my router issue? His is working good, and he ordered another one. Now, I wish I could order another one. Unfortunately, I got to make my mortgage payment, my car payment, pay the water, and all these other stuff. Obviously, I had to go to Circle K to get a Polar Pop. So I got to save up. Hopefully at some point I'll be able to get myself another one, and that'll be pretty awesome. This way I can start to reap the reward. Dollar bills falling. Yeah, that's what I want to see. The ASIC start making some money for me. Then I'm going to sell my Electroneum. I'm going to squirrel that away, because hopefully it'll be worth something nice in the future one day. So we'll see how it turns out. Now, as far as fixing the router issue, I still have not had, it's still sitting on my desk, or one of my side desks, my build desk for the hardware. I still have not had a chance. It's been a busy day for me at work, and I just got an opportunity to sit down, and I was working on the broadcast system. It's kind of tough doing all this all by yourself. One day I'm going to make a mobile cam so you guys can see the setup. It's pretty sexy, and it's a lot of fun. And for a few dollars, I've been able to put together a pretty good system. So that's awesome. Yeah, 89-cent ring. Yeah, I think it's 89 or 79 cents. You can pick any size you want. I get the biggest one. Why get the small one? And it lasts me pretty much all day. I think I bought that around 1 o'clock this afternoon. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Do you think the ASICs are here to stay? So let's bring that up. Let's see what that question is. So Michael's also asking, do you think the ASICs are here to stay? I hope I didn't waste my money if they go back to GPU mining. Well, you could always obviously put it on a different coin, but it would be a lot harder to sell your stuff. And if they went back, to GPU mining, there'd be a riot. Yeah, going back and forth, but it's not going to happen. So they're going to stay with ASICs. They can't move it. They've already made that commitment. It's not going anywhere. Rest assured that they're going to stick with it, because it's clearly the safest way to stabilize and secure your network. Just ask Bitcoin. Right? So don't expect any problem there. All right. What else we got here today? John's still liking my soda stuff. All right. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. What do you think there? Okay. How you doing, Marco? I see you out here. Yours slipped through on the chat. Hopefully I don't start getting like gobs of chat, so I'll never be able to keep up with it all. So I'm trying to do my best to do that. So Marco was asking, what do you think the price will be by the end of the year? Mr. Bean doesn't really think that he doesn't know either. I can't tell you. I have no idea what the price is going to be at the end of the year. What I can tell you is that there is a lot of expectation for opportunity for Bitcoin to go up, and if Bitcoin goes up, it's going to take all ships float or rise in an upcoming tide. So that alone will help elevate the price of Electroneum. The big key is that as of Electroneum starts releasing information about partnerships and starts doing marketing during that period of time, they can gain on that and really take it up even further than it would normally go. So if Bitcoin goes up 5, you just don't want Electroneum to go up 5. You want to see Electroneum go up 10% because of extra good news. So that's what we're going to be looking for. And do I think that it's going to be 1 cent at the end of the year? I would be very shocked and surprised if it's still 1 cent at the end of the year. Is it possible? Yeah, but I would be surprised if it's still 1 cent at the end of the year. So, all right. Hope I didn't miss anybody there. Let's take a look. So Big Fella saying that the ASICs were a good move, and I agree. He's marked up on there. Electroneum has to follow the technology and give the GPUs back to the gamers. You know, yeah, that's part of it, but there's going to be other proofs of work, progressive proofs of work, which use all of the components of a GPU. So there would be no advantage to an ASIC because you would have to actually simulate a GPU by doing it, and by using all the little features. And then, of course, valuable proof of work, what's called useful proof of work. That I think is going to come more into the mainstream, where you're starting to see things like DeepBrain chain, Golem, and some of these other big coins that are AI based, where you actually are providing a service at the same time of mining and showing proof of work. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that going into the future as they figure out how to combine these two things together. This way there's some value added at the same time. So I think that's going to be big. Hey, Double X, I see you out there. You're hiding. So he's saying hello. We got a new guy, Richard. Good to see you out there. All right. Guy, is he from Ghana? All right, and he loves ETN. That's pretty cool. So let's take a look here. Double X, he's got high hopes. He wants everybody to trade in their crypto for Electroneum. So don't hold your breath. You know, it'd be tough to see that happen. Everybody trading in Bitcoin and all the other stuff for Electroneum. But you know, you can wish, you can think, and yeah, Mr. Bean thinks that's kind of a crazy idea and it won't happen. So you never know. You know, stranger things happen. So all right. So John's asking about the Coinbase. I've already went over that, so you're going to have to catch it on the replay. I'm not going to go through it again, unfortunately. But you will be able to watch the replay and get my thoughts regarding Coinbase and Electroneum. If anybody out there knows more than I do regarding this and has, they're confident in their information, that they know Electroneum is actually going to go on Coinbase, you know, definitely write it in the comments or put it right in the chat there for me. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. All right, so John Thompson, again, I'll just put this up. If I thought XRP is going to be listed, I did answer that. I'm going to make you go back and watch the replay. But the answer is yes, I think XRP is going to now be able to, that's the reason why it hasn't been on there. So I don't want to rehash that again. All right, so yes, we're going to be talking about the patent. Let's put up this from Rick. Rick is asking, in the patent talk, I'd like to hear your thought on what you think makes the Electroneum patent different than many others filed. And first thing first is that, you know, I've looked into the Electroneum patent and I've heard the basic concept. Now, I did a lot of research trying to find the actual physical filing, the actual papers, the PDFs of the papers, so that I can see what the tech was. And the problem is as follows, and I'll explain it to you as we go along, what I did find, which was, well, I'll let you see it, and you can tell for yourself, and maybe give me some thoughts on where you think it's going. All right, now let's get to that, because everybody wants, you guys want to hear about the patent, what I found so far? I would assume everybody's interested in that, yeah? All right, so what we'll do is we'll close up our stuff there, and we'll bring that up. Mr. Bean, yeah, you want to see the patent, right? Yeah. So, all right, so let's bring up. So what I did, first thing I did is, obviously, luckily we were able to have a patent number, but I was also to cross-reference it against Electroneum. So basically I logged in to the British government, the UK.gov website, and poked around through there. I was able to get connected into the patents offices. Now, there is a patent number that's given. There's a, when you go to look it up, there is a precursor that you have to put in place, and to get it all, to find the filing that was done. You know, I've heard for months, you know, I don't think they actually put in a patent, there's no proof. All they gave us was a number. Well, I can tell you today, and we can call it on DigiSpin Crypto, there is absolutely a filed patent, guaranteed. That I know. All right, and how do I know that? So, let's move my camera out of the way here. So, I got in touch with the Intellectual Property Office and did the search. Now, I was able to locate on May 3rd the initial publication, and the obviously by the application number, this is the patent, and it's actually a GB number that gets put before the patent. So if you're going to do your own personal research, and please, anybody out there, you guys can search on that, and if you find additional information, put it in the comments below, and if somebody's even smarter than myself and is able to locate it. So you see here, Electroneum Limited. Now, I searched patent offices in the United States, throughout the European Union, and international patent offices. The only place I was able to locate it was in the UK patent office. So it makes sense, they're in the UK, and Denton says in the UK. I'm assuming that this will be spread across on an international level also, but you know, it'll be in there. Now, my question would be, if it's just in the UK patent office, does it just cover the UK? I'm not smart enough to know that. It's above my pay grade, and you know, I'm just not sure. I'm not a patent lawyer, so this is something I'm going to look into some more to see if I can find out more details regarding that. But yeah, as you can see here in the title, they have hybrid blockchain written in here. Let's see if I can blow this up. So it is a hybrid blockchain transaction system, and it was logged. Obviously, it was filed on May 23rd and logged into the UK Patent Office on the 5th. Now, usually you can take a look at the publications, if it's been granted, or what other types of subcategories. None of these were active like the other patents. So I was not able to the best of my ability, you're not able to get a copy of the PDF to define what's in the patent, how it's written, and the details on the patent. There's little to sparse information on that, and that could be because it's still in the approval process, and once it gets stamped, it will then become filed and live and granted patent, and then they have to file the paperwork, and then I can tear it down, take a look at what their technology design was, and I'll evaluate it, and I'll give you full information regarding that. Now, the only other thing I was able to locate regarding it was just another confirmation at the property office and the document inspection service, and this is the current status. So we'll take a look, and as you can see, the application is still in pending. So you got April, May, June, July. We got 4 months. It's still in pending, and you know what it's like dealing with the government. Yeah, government is really tough. Things move slow, and it's obvious 4 months. I don't know how long a patent can take, and maybe some of you smart guys out there could tell me exactly how long it takes to get a patent approved, especially if you're from England, and you could give me some information on that. So I think this is groundbreaking and earth-shattering news, and definitely explosive. Yeah! So there you go. There's the patent information. It is currently filed. It is currently pending. It will come out, and I would consider the Dentons did their homework. I would be shocked and surprised if this gets rejected in any fashion, shape, or form. So Electroneum Limited has it out there. It is in there, and you heard it first here on Digit Spin Crypto with visual proof that it is existing, that it is filed, and it is in the system. So there you go. Some good news. Only on Digit Spin Crypto. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate that. Now, basically what happens is that by doing that type of stuff, it allows me to be able to bring you more news, entertainment, and fun. And without your support, I can't do that. So I look to each and every one of you to show kindness and like, and provide whatever efforts you can for the Digit Spin channel. All right. So let's go back to the chat. Let's turn that back on here and take a look. See what kind of interesting stuff I got. Okay. All right, so we got good work, Michael. Yay, Matthew Gray. So I see Matthew Gray out there, and Matt just is saying, hey, oh. So I wanted to have a shout out to Matthew. Matthew has his own little channel out there. It's kind of quaint because he does it in his car while he's driving. I don't know if he's going to work or not, and you might want to check it out. It's his personal thoughts on a lot of stuff. Sometimes he overreacts a little bit. I'm not saying that he does, but sometimes he overreacts a little bit. But most of the time, his thoughts are entertaining. His thoughts are thought-provocative, and it may be something worth your time. Give it a shot. 99 cents. Take a look at it if you have a chance. Of course, all the other channels are awesome. Shout out to Crypto NWO. Obviously, you guys know Mick, and Crypto for the People, and of course, Truthful Rob has always been a fun guy to watch. So take a look at those channels. You'll find that they're also very good sources for you. And I'm going to do a video also on other channels besides Electroneum channels, other channels that you need to watch and put on your subscription list, because there are some good channels that bring logical information to help you make yourself a smarter and better investor, which is what this is all about. It's knowing when, how, and why you want to invest your dollars into a particular coin. So I'll do a video on it, or we'll do it on a live feed sometime, and I'll show you some of the sites. And they have, most of them have nothing to do with Electroneum, but everything to do with your investing, which is also part of what goes on in Electroneum. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. Big fellow was talking about DeepBrain. We could get into how long have we been running here. I'm not exactly even sure. I don't want to pull it off too much. We'll go for a little bit longer. DeepBrain, I like DeepBrain. I've been a big follower of DeepBrain. I'll just answer that real quick. Let's put that up on the screen. All right. I mentioned DeepBrain. What's my opinion on it? I like DeepBrain. I think they're full encompassed. They've already got AI technology in place. They're already using it. It's already functioning. They've already been selling it. What they did is they added the blockchain to it to be able to then send the data out and let it process and come back. They're selling the services, okay? And so that's important. So quick startups and DeepBrain and AI learning, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is their forte. I think it's a brilliant project. I hope they do well. You can even buy equipment from them, or if you have a couple of 1080 Ti's and 64 gigs of RAM, you can set up your own workstation so that you can actually quote mine, again, useful proof of work, which is going to be the future of all GPU mining. And never mind all the new GPUs that are coming out, and we'll talk about that at some other time too. All right, let me see if anything new came in here. Safe exchange. So unfortunately, Michael, I'm not going to tell you that I know something I don't. Safe exchange, if we had more time and we were just doing a coin show, and I'll probably just do a coin show as we go along, because obviously we want to be useful to not just Electroneum but other investors too. And I'll have to look into Safe Exchange. I'll see if I can find out anything about it. I've never researched it, so unfortunately I won't give you information on something I just don't know about yet. So we'll take a look at that. Big fella, you cracked me up. Did you get blessed in the ceremony? That's funny. Okay. Alright. You're a busy person. No problem. Okay. So if anybody else has any questions, now's the time to put them in, and we'll talk about that. Double X is telling me here his favorite Mr. Bean episode is the one where he studied for a test and took and cheated on his way through, only to find out the real test was still in the envelope. And that is quite funny. He sits down and he lays out his pencils and has everything, and I think he has his little favorite bear or something, and he sticks it on the table, and you know, these pencils, and of course the pencil breaks, and now he has no way to write it, and he's struggling with it, and he's trying to cheat, and he'll drop the pencil and then come out on the other side of the guy, and you know, trying to get the right answers, and then goes to put it back in there and realizes that he had, because he couldn't answer any of it, there were 2 tests inside and you can pick which version, and so he flipped out. I don't know if you guys ever watched Mr. Bean. I'm an older guy, and Mr. Bean was a staple for me. British humor, I love British humor. It's so thoughtful, and you really have to pay attention to each and every part of it to get the gag. So he's good stuff, right, Mr. Bean? Yeah. And so that's always important. I like Mr. Bean, so yeah, what can I say? All right, I think I got all the questions there. If anybody else has one. Just shaking the hands. Yeah. Matt Gray. Bean does the dialing the piano bit too. Yeah, he does. I don't know if they have it on Netflix or what have you. I think I've watched everyone. I always get a kick that he has that car, and then that little three-wheeled yellow car is always was it yellow? Is always in his way, and he pushes it out of the way or backs into it, and locks his trunk and then takes his keys and throws them in the window. Just everything, and of course his movies are just even funnier. A lot of the gags are reused, but they're done in a big screen way, so yeah, he cracks me up. And actually, that guy, jeez, I can't remember his name. Type his name in, please. Somebody in there, Mr. Bean. You guys gonna make me look it up. What's his name? Gee whiz. It's on the tip of my tongue. Rowan Atkinson. Gee whiz. Okay, Rowan Atkinson. Rowan Atkinson is actually extremely smart. This guy graduated Oxford, and one of the highest positions in Oxford. This guy is brilliant in theater and whatever. He created this character through sheer brilliance and slapstick humor. It's pretty funny, and he's perfected it over the years. Love Mr. Bean. Anyway, sorry about that. I know you guys are all on there. All right, so we had a lot of fun tonight. We took a look at all the markets going up. We took a look at Coinbase and what you're going to see in the news tomorrow. And I guarantee you all the others are going to talk about how Ripple's going to be now made available, and they think that they were smart. But you heard it first, so you know you were the smarter one here. And obviously, we all know about the 5 coins. You also know that eventually the stock market, NASDAQ, there won't be stocks. It could take another 5 years, but within 5 to 10 years, there'll be just cryptocurrency coins, not stock certificates, because the stocks will be the coins, and there'll be a couple of layers of coins like we talked about. And we had the breaking news that showing the information that it's a guaranteed patent. It is there. It is still being worked on. We're waiting for the UK government, and we're going to be doing some good stuff with Electroneum. So appreciate each and one of you. Come see me tonight. Like I said, I'm just getting started with the live broadcasts. I'm still getting my footing. I'm sure I'm going to get even better and have more exciting stuff as we go along. But I think we have a good start. I think we've done a decent job on our 3rd video, and each one is getting progressively better. So it'll be awesome. So I appreciate one of you, and thank you, and have a good night, and I'll see you next time.